Channel 11 in your corner at 6.
If you drive through a DUI checkpoint, police are far more likely to give you a ticket or arrest you for something other than driving under the influence.
And that's what community watchdog Nate Morabito discovered after reviewing the results of 10 sobriety checkpoints in Northeast Tennessee last year.
Out of thousands of drivers checked at these police stops, we found only 7 charged with DUI. That means less than 0.2% of all drivers stopped at sobriety checkpoints faced DUI charges. And that doesn't include the one case prosecutors dismissed. Critics of these checkpoints say our findings demonstrate proof DUI checkpoints simply don't work. But police say the numbers don't tell the whole story. More than 3,300 cars passed through DUI checkpoints in 6 area counties on 10 different nights in 2016, according to the data we obtained.
It's literally a few seconds delay.
Most drove away without any problems, but not Kendall and Salyer.
They slowed me down and they checked my license and they asked me to pull over.
The 22-year-old's trip to Kingsport to pick up pizza
I was like, oh gosh, I knew I hadn't done anything wrong.
became more of an ordeal.
Maybe 15 to 20 minutes.
Not because she drove drunk,
It was because of my headlight being out.
but because of a misdemeanor light law violation.
I thought the DUI checkpoints were mainly focused on drunk driving, so I was hoping that maybe they would give me a warning.
Her misdemeanor ticket for a broken headlight is one of nearly 30 equipment violation citations handed out by police at sobriety checkpoints in 2016. One of roughly 130 citations or arrests for non-DUI crimes. Other tickets we discovered cited at DUI checkpoints: lack of registration, seatbelt violations, drug possession, and improper child restraints. In any other circumstance, police could have never pulled over many of those people to begin with, without probable cause. The checkpoints opened the door for officers to observe the other crimes.
I think that's what we call, collateral damage.
In contrast, records show police filed just 7 DUI or driving under the influence charges, which ironically ties for the 7th most common crime at DUI checkpoints.
That's actually an argument against these sort of checkpoints. It turns out that Barron versus Baltimore is a really interesting case.
Law professor Stuart Harris hosts a nationally syndicated weekly constitutional radio show.
The national government.
Harris knows the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in favor of DUI checkpoints almost 3 decades ago, finding they don't violate people's Fourth Amendment rights because the court said the checkpoints help keep the public safe and the intrusion on people's liberties is brief and reasonable.
The court essentially balanced those two and said, nope, if they're properly done, these DUI checkpoints are okay.
But Professor Harris says at some point, someone will certainly challenge the constitutionality again.
And I can imagine the circumstance where someone who is stopped at a DUI checkpoint, who is not drunk, but who is then arrested for some other violation, would challenge that, saying that this is not the way America operates. You should have to have some sort of probable cause to stop me individually. And what you're doing is you're treating me collectively.
It's an ineffective use of law enforcement resources.
Don Spurrell is a critic of the checkpoints.
They are a major intrusion into one's privacy.
Not just because he thinks they're intrusive. The defense attorney says there's no proof, other than assumptions, they actually keep the public safe. He says the state and local law enforcement data we analyzed prove his point.
Show me the numbers. Show me it works, and maybe I'll agree with it.
Are you aware of any data or evidence that show this actually works?
Well, I don't know that that could actually be measured.
Departments are required to tell the public about upcoming checkpoints. Tom Patton says that alone helps educate people and deters drunk driving.
Go over here to the passenger side of my car.
The Kingsport police officer says one of the goals of checkpoints is to not only arrest some people for DUI, but also proactively keep people from even thinking about drinking and getting on the road.
We want the public to be aware of the dangers that DUI poses and the fact that we are taking steps as best we can to prevent those.
Region-wide, records show half of the checkpoints started and ended without a single DUI arrest. According to these numbers, Kingsport police arrested 1 person for DUI at all 3 of its sobriety checkpoints last year at this intersection, North John B. Dennis and Pavilion Drive. Patton says that one driver, eventually found guilty in court, is proof enough.
Well, I think if we got one impaired driver off the road through DUI checkpoints, then it's a win. That one impaired driver could have gone on and killed an entire family.
I think that is a very poor argument, because you don't know how many people were out endangering the public when you were sitting still at a checkpoint.
The state dedicates grant money to help departments pay the salaries of off-duty officers who work these checkpoints. Spurrell says Tennessee could better spend that money, paying police overtime to work the roads away from the checkpoints.
It doesn't work. It would be much better for these officers to be patrolling.
I think they could be beneficial.
Candlein Salyer says she sees both sides of the issue.
Getting a ticket for something else at a DUI checkpoint is kind of unfortunate.
Though she says she didn't realize her headlight was out at the time, she says she knows the law is the law. Lucky for her, the court threw out her ticket once she replaced the headlight in question.
Now, police say the checkpoints don't just protect the public from drunk drivers. They also protect the public from drivers breaking other traffic laws, as demonstrated by the numbers of other citations and arrests we found. Officers say just because they're looking for drunk drivers at checkpoints doesn't mean they should turn a blind eye to the non-DUI crimes they're sworn to enforce. In fact, when the Tennessee Highway Patrol sends out alerts about upcoming checkpoints, they warn troopers will take corrective action for other violations they observe.
Nate, thank you. According to the Governor's Highway Safety Association, 12 states in the nation currently don't hold these sobriety checkpoints, and the ones that do, including Tennessee and Virginia, police have legal guidelines that they must follow. We posted some of the requirements on WJHL.com tonight. There you'll also find a breakdown of all DUI checkpoint crimes, from the 43 registration violations to that one open container violation.